everybody. It's your girl, Sherry, and welcome back to another episode of A Legend Actually podcast. Today we are back. I'm back with my Bravo bestie, Joey, and we are here to talk a little bit of Real Housewives of Potomac, a little bit of Karen Huger, and a whole lot of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So, also, before we get into it real quick, if you're new here, we do reality TV recaps and pop culture segments. So welcome. If you've already been here and you're back, welcome back. I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and like this video, share with the masses, and comment, slide in these comments and let us know what you thought. So, Joey, what did you think about our three-part series or three-part reunion of Real Housewives of Potomac?
I honestly thought like the reunion was better than like the entire season.
I agree.
Was like, why did we really need 3 parts? Like the season was kind of boring. The reunion I thought was great. I mean, we had some bombshell moments. They really brought it. I thought that they looked, with the exception of Mia, phenomenal. It was just like so good. I think Mia is a complete fool, and it really made me sad because I was like a big like Mia fan. I thought like she really carried like last season. I thought she was going to be like the rising star, and I thought maybe like, you know, that's why like Giselle maybe like a little like jealous. But boy, did she fumble that bag. Oh my Lord.
She did. She did. I mean, they ate her up at the reunion, and rightfully so. She has really played in our face all season. And so,
yeah. And then like, you know, like they said, everyone on reunions have their turn on getting dragged through like the mud, some more than others, but they sit there and they take it, and you talk about it or you fight it out. I mean, her just get up and like leave, like, and I mean like leave the building, like
left the
crazy.
building.
I mean, I'm trying to think like when the last time we saw that, and I like couldn't think of anything where someone actually like left the reunion, like left the building.
I can't think of anything either as far as leaving the building. I remember the whole Nene shut the laptop thing during the whole COVID. That was
amazing.
But as far as walking out the building, no.
Yeah, we've had like walkouts, but like they always like come back, and it was just like so cowardly. Like, if you can't take the heat, like, you know what I mean, stay out the kitchen. Like, it was like sad because like, not for nothing, like they'll probably bring her back because they want to film the women like dragging her for like this past season. But I mean, honestly, she shouldn't be brought back. Like, if you can't finish like the job, you don't deserve like the job.
I agree.
I mean, our girl Stacy, she got dragged through the mud.
So okay, now, did that change your opinion of Stacy at all? What are your thoughts on her TJ whole thing? And
I just thought she looked so ridiculous. I always thought like the TJ thing was like a sham. To be honest, I thought TJ was gay.
Me too.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like my gaydar can be a little off sometimes, but normally I feel like I'm pretty on. And just like the blind defense, but I will say she played a great game because she stayed on track and never veered the entire season.
She did.
But I mean, like the reunion, like, I mean, she got dragged, but she didn't run out. She didn't leave. She stood there. She held her own. She even tried to play off, you know, when all her things were coming tumbling down around her. She still like stayed. I don't know. I mean, it was like really bad. I thought like she had a really good season. I thought for a rookie, your first freshman year, like she really did a good job. I thought I enjoyed her. And then it was just a really bad part 3.
It was bad part 3. And then that night she was on Watch What Happens Live, and she was on with Dr. Simone. And she still, I mean, listen, she did not break character. She maintains that story, but it just didn't make sense. And Andy just kept baiting her to say more, and she did not break. So listen, if nothing else, she's consistent.
And to be honest, like I still like don't know like who I believe. Like, do I believe TJ a little bit? Because like I said, like I really do think that he was like gay. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's stuck so strong.
She did.
her convictions. Like, I don't know. And I don't know if, like, we'll ever know. But, I mean, the rest of the cast felt like they knew, so.
They did.
And you know what? Like, shame on Wendy. Like, that was, like, super shady. She was just looking for a moment. She didn't care who she hurt in the process.
That's
and, like,
true.
I used to like Wendy, too. And now I feel like she is just the messy one.
She definitely turned into the messy one. And because of all that she's been through, I mean, even last season, between her and my girl Candace, I was like, oh my gosh, you would think that she would have had more compassion. She was tearing it up and it was giving her great joy. So it's kind of like, so all you were waiting for was a little bit of acceptance. Now you're in there. Now you want to be in that same seat, so you're no better. So
preach.
Yeah. So there's that, guys. And the other part that I needed to ask you about are your thoughts on Karen Huger's sentencing and all of that.
You know, the fall of Karen Huger could be like a case study because Karen Huger was like literally like the reason that I watched Potomac for like seasons. I thought like I could not wait to see her. Every scene she was in, she was so funny. She was so outrageous. I just like loved her. Boy, what a fall. And like 4 DUIs, like that's crazy. And like you claim to have all this money and you have a driver, right? I mean, Mr. Blue Eyes. So like, why are you continuously driving drunk? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And what made it even worse was I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, well, Shannon Storms Bedore about this and that and the other thing. But I was like, but if you watch the seasons, they were like polar opposites.
They were.
Like Shannon Bedore like came on, she had a game plan, she owned her stuff, she was remorseful, she was like changing her life. We saw the exact opposite from Karen Huger. Like those videos that she sent were so cringe.
Oh, were they not?
It was so rehearsed. Even like the conversation with like her and Ray was like so scripted. Like it was. I was so embarrassed for like the both of them. And poor Ray, you know, God bless that man because he puts up with a lot. You have a possibly cheating wife. And you stick by her, and all this, and you let her, and you just stick by her. You're gonna read these scripts, you're gonna have these fake conversations. I mean, it was just really, really sad. And I mean, I'm curious to see if she'll come back because,
I don't know. I mean, listen, at this point, watching that, I felt like, as much as I hated it for her, if she didn't get sentenced, she wasn't going to change. There was not any remorse. There was even still making excuses. And it was sickening to watch, which is why she's a repeat offender. There is something like they said, you know, maybe it's part of her charm somewhat because it makes her funny. But that delusion thing is real for her. And she has a real problem. You don't get 4 DUIs. I mean, because there's many times that you're going to be driving under the influence that you don't get caught. So as much as I hate it for her, I hope that whatever time, I don't know that she'll do the full year, but whatever time they give her, I hope she humbles herself some. I mean, that's part of her charm too, but.
I mean, granted, it was like rehearsed, but she was like, you know, I'm going to retire the Grand Dame and I'm going to show you Karen Huger. Like, no, you're not.
Yeah, no.
And like, honestly, that's okay. Like, just be honest, I guess, you know, but. I don't know. I mean, like I said, the fall from grace, it was a long fall.
That was a long fall. That was. And I didn't see, I didn't expect it to go out like that. And then we just kept getting bits and pieces. And toward the end of the 4K, I was just like, this is a lot. But listen, if there's anything that can be said, it certainly gave us something to talk about when it was a snooze fest. We got all those bombs at the reunion. And now you'll have folks that'll come back for the next season. So, I mean, if for nothing else, it did what it was supposed to do. Sadly,
it certainly did.
I do hate that for Karen, though.
I do.
All right, guys. So hopefully you guys are sticking in there and watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Last night was episode 14. I kind of felt like, even though I enjoyed the episode, it was more of a filler episode.
100%.
Yeah. So it basically opens with Kyle coming to Kathy's and they were going to go get their mammogram done. And while they're in the car, of course, they start discussing the whole Kyle, her still processing the Mauricio's scandalous photo with the young woman. And I felt bad for Kyle, but I'm still confused. It's like, girl.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts, Joey?
So I literally wrote in my notes, like, I do feel bad for Kyle. Because
Yeah.
I do. At the same time, for her to attempt to act like this is like rattling her, she's a victim, blah, blah. Like, that's so hypocritical. But if we know one thing about Kyle Richards is that she is a queen hypocrite. So, like, you are like literally out gallivanting with Morgan Wade, she who shall not be spoken of. And like, you brought her on your show. Mm-hmm. You are following her on tour. You did that ridiculous music video for attention and then tried to be like, oh, well, that'd be fun and whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, and now what? Everyone's checking on you because like they're so worried about you. Like, you're the victim because Mauricio was seen kissing a woman in an airport. Like, I just like don't. Like, I do feel bad for her because like they are still married. Clearly, she's the one that's like still kind of like, like, I don't know, like, could we get back together? Like, blah, blah. Like, whereas, like, he got a whole, like, new place. He got, like, all, like, new furniture. Mm-hmm. Like, girl, he moving on. And, like, I get it. Like, I don't have kids. I'll never have kids. But, like, maybe it's different for a man and a woman. But I feel like she is, like, more concerned about, like, the children and the family unit. But, like, girl, you're not the victim.
No. You were doing your thing as well.
100%.
I think for her, it's the public, I won't even say shame. I don't think any of us were shocked. We've been hearing about Mauricio doing this thing a minute. And honestly, when I saw it, this comes off the heels of the whole Dancing with the Stars thing. It wasn't really even, I was thinking, is that the girl? I mean, like, I didn't even really care. But
no. I literally was like scrolling TMZ and it's like, oh, Mauricio. And I was like, okay, kept scrolling. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
I mean, it's not shocking. You're right. She's been doing her thing. You know, Mauricio's not twiddling his thumbs. I mean, listen, for her to have to explain, because you know Kyle doesn't like to. She doesn't like to talk about her stuff. But Kathy was funny. She was trying to get some little information from her about, like who they thought the girl was and all of that. But before they got even more to that, we hop over to Erica, who's at her home. And she had her decorator, Martin, decorator to the stars, redecorated for her. Now, listen, it was not my style, but I thought it certainly, I don't know, it gave it a whole different flair. It's very Erica.
Very Erica.
Very, very Erica. And her mother, Renee, was there. It was a great scene. Your thoughts? I love the evolution of Erica Jane, honey.
Oh my God. You know me. I've been an Erica Jane fan from day one. I liked Erica Jane before she was ever even on like the show. I just think like another like case that should be studied. I mean, that girl was at like rock bottom.
Yes, she
like
was.
Rock bottom. I'm like, oh, that's it. Her career over. She's probably not going to come back on like the show or whatever. Yeah. And to see her, how far she's come emotionally, with the house, with her friends, with just everything, like from the bottom, built herself up again. Like, I'm so happy for her. I'm so proud of her. The house was not for me. It was definitely Erica Jane vibes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could not be any happier for her. I love Erica Jane.
Same. And I think that for me, watching her is why I enjoy Housewives. We watch these women for years. We watch them go through divorces, their children grow up, leave the empty nest and all of those good things. And like watching her go through that, one of the biggest scandals. I mean, she had the whole, Hulu was doing the whole documentary on them. I mean, it was serious. But to watch her rise above that and her zest for life in this season is inspiring because Erica's got to be, I don't know her age, but I know she's got to be late 40s into the early 50s. I'd
No,
say
she's
late.
in her early 50s, I believe.
Okay,
Because
okay. So she's fellow 50-year, yes. So I resonated when she said, like, life is different for her now because statistically, it's like more life behind you than in front of you. None of us know how long we have, but I love the fact that she's like, I'm here for everything I want to do, the jobs I want, the opportunities I want. It was everything. And that, y'all, is why I stay so invested. I mean, lately, Housewives as a whole have let me down. But my favorites, when I see stuff like that, that's why I keep tuning in. That was a great, great moment for me. I thought I love that. I love that for her. So
completely agree.
yes. So, y'all, next scene we have Stratton. No, Stratton. Sutton. Sutton Stratton. She has multiple personalities.
You were just mixing up her first and last name, and maybe that is her alter ego because we see many different sides of her.
Maybe so, because there really are. She really has a couple personalities in there. But she's getting ready for her big fashion show, and she's a little frazzled per usual. And her mother Reba is supposed to be coming. However, we find out she's having some difficulties with her flight. And Garcelle comes through to lend some support. And of course, they also get into the whole Kyle Mauricio of it all. You know, not a whole lot to that scene.
No, I can't stand Garcelle. She's an enabler of bad behavior.
She really is. And again, I'm over trying to defend her now. I'm just done with it. I'm just done. It just is what it is. Girl, she is wrong, wrong, wrong. And from last week, and y'all, we missed last week for some family stuff of mine. But the whole, before we go past that, what did you think of the whole caviar party and the whole fight with someone whose wallet fits that?
Yeah. So first of all, I cannot get enough of Jennifer Tilly. I hope that they keep her. I need her back next season. Every scene she's in, I just am so zeroed in on. I think she's so funny. I think she's so quirky. She's rich. And I liked the party. The caftan thing brought me right back to Shaw's of Sunset and Asa, which I was here for.
Yes.
Sutton, I just am so upset because all season, right? I've been saying I really am a Sutton fan. I think she's different than most housewives. I think she's quirky. I think she's I think she could be super funny. And then she turns into this other person that is just so deplorable. I mean, and the fact that they're at this table with all these people and she is going low on Dorit. And no one says anything besides Erica piped in a little bit, disgusting. All of them. All of them. Disgusting. And the wallet thing, is that all you have to go off of is your money? It's not even your money. It's your husband. Exactly. It's your ex-husband's.
Exactly.
Girl, take several seats.
I know. That was that's all you got, sis. Come on now. Seriously.
And she just, and they've already said it this season. She loves to kick people when they're down. Mm-hmm. And this was Dorit's season to be down, and she has done nothing but go after her time and time again. And I just don't get it with her trusty sidekick Garcelle that just goes along with everything she says. Check your girl. That's not a friend. If I was acting like that, I'll tell you right now, my best friends would be bro, you better check yourself.
Yep. Same. I mean, it's almost I was wondering if because Garcelle's no fan of Dorit. It's they got together before and said, let's just hammer her this season. Because it's Garcelle, I'm just waiting for a voice of reason. And she should have said something at that table. And the fact that she didn't was shocking. And like I said, cannot defend. And when we get to the dinner, again, I'm girl. They do talk about Kyle and Mauricio. I will give Garcelle, I won't say credit, but I will understood where she was going with basically what we said. Girl, you were rolling through with Morgan, and it's what are we doing here? I don't know if I believe that it was stage. Do you believe that the photo was staged, or that someone paid paparazzi to be there, or tipped them off, or like?
Not me personally. I don't believe that Mauricio is like that type of person. Like, I don't know anything about this girl. Like, maybe she could have staged it, but like, who is she?
Right.
But the constant talking on screen about, oh, it was staged, it was staged, it was staged. You don't know that.
Right.
Like,
Right.
none of you like know that, and like, oh well, he's not like Jennifer Aniston or like Brad Pitt, blah blah. He's a very predominant figure on television for like 15 plus years.
Yes.
Like multiple shows. He had his own show. Like why, if there was paparazzi there, why wouldn't they take a photo of him?
He's married to Kyle, and everybody knows that whole. I mean, like, come on, that's the like.
But also, like, I was trying to figure out like where was this photo taken, because like paparazzi aren't out like the gates. So like, was this some like baggage claim? Like, I don't know. But also, like, was it paparazzi, or was it just somebody with a cell phone
and they
that took it and sent it to like TMZ? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly. I'm thinking like, okay, y'all, enough already, because I just don't see like, first of all, like I said, I don't think the fans were even shocked. So like, what was the end goal, other than maybe part of the storyline, or maybe to get at Kyle? I just don't see. I don't know. But that
I just don't feel like he's after Kyle like that either.
I don't think so either.
I really don't.
He just doesn't. He's a very level-headed, seemingly even-keeled guy, and he cares so much about his family, the girls. Like, why would he do that? That doesn't seem like his character.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. So, all right. So now we're going to move on to the lunch, dinner, whatever, the meal Dorit and Garcelle had. Now, I was happy to see that they were going to meet up and have a meal, and I was like, okay, finally. And this is after the heels of Dorit, I guess, intruding on her then at Bose's spa day party. But Dorit had apologized. And so, being that Dorit had apologized to Garcelle, because they did have a rough go at first, there were some things that she said, but she's acknowledged. They've tried a couple times before, but this time it seemed like Garcelle received her apology. And so they were meeting to have a meal. And so Garcelle asked her how she's doing, and she's like, her and PK are status quo, which for her is a good thing. And I did like the semblance of compassion when she said that a lot of them don't realize how difficult it is to be separated when you have small children. And so let's give her that. We'll give her that, right? She was saying how the ladies in the group don't really, understand and, give her compassion for that. That's difficult when you're trying to navigate with, younger kids, their questions and the way they're feeling. And she made mention that when she separated from her husband, her boys, her twins were 16, which is a little bit older than Dorit's kids. But I mean, we'll take what we can get, right?
I feel like we've seen that conversation before and it never really goes anywhere. I'd like to be hopeful, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I just don't trust Garcelle. Garcelle is friends to one person, and that one person is Sutton. And I feel like that's all she can handle. So,
yep. She is.
First chance she gets to talk about Kyle, she's talking about Kyle. First chance she gets to talk about Dorit, she's talking about Dorit. First chance she gets to talk about Bose, she's talking about Bose, she's talking about Bose. I just is that her point on the show, to be the pot stirrer? What else? What has she shown us? This 14 episodes. What has she shown us?
Nothing. Literally nothing. This is a bad season. I was even wondering, is she preparing to leave? Because she's giving us nothing.
Literally nothing. And she's so busy. I feel like she's almost pulling a Candy Burris on us. We're you know what I mean? No, I love Candy Burris as a person. I love her music. I support whatever she does. Good for her. When it came to the Housewives, girl, get off my screen. You're wasting a place.
Right.
And Garcelle is so busy doing all these other things. And I feel like it's that same situation where now we're in a season, you're giving us nothing. The same way at the end of her run, Candy Burris giving us nothing on Atlanta.
Nothing.
So
She could
like,
barely
girl,
control
there's the door. Let's see
Yeah.
Sutton fight without you.
Woo, isn't that the truth? Ooh, now that's gonna be good. But then you know what? We didn't think. Well, I don't know. Giselle is very different, but I would wonder Giselle's dynamic without Robin, and she did fine. But Giselle and Sutton are different, so
They are different, but I thought like Giselle was so much more likable without Robin.
she was. And it's funny because the minute the two of them are back together, because the two of them on Watch What Happens Live, and y'all, I'm doing the ADHD thing again. But the minute the two of them on Watch What Happens Live, they reverted right back to that nasty, mean. So it's like they're just bad for each other. Yeah.
And you know what? Like we all have like those friends that like we shouldn't be hanging out
Yes.
with. You know, it just goes downhill. But I mean,
It does. It just does. It just,
more power to them, I guess.
I guess.
I just think that Sutton would not survive a season if Garcelle was not there.
I don't think so either. I honestly don't. I don't. So as they're talking, Garcelle has the nerve to ask Dorit what is her beef with Sutton. I know.
Like, has Garcelle like been around? Like,
I was thinking the same thing. Girl, where you been? Ooh. And Dorit.
That's what I mean. She's like so busy. She's like removed.
Yeah. So, because even Dorit was like, what? My beef? Like, have you been here? And then she was like, were you not at the dinner? Like, she was like, and basically she told her, it seems like when it comes to Sutton, you wear these rose tinted glasses, but then when you're referring to me, you act like I'm some kind of raging bee. And she was like, well, you kind of are. And that's when I was like, now, girl, listen. She had to remind her of the whole wallet comment. And basically she was like, okay, yeah. But that was about it. There was no like, yeah, she shouldn't have said that. There was like, oh, that was just awful. I felt for you. None of that.
But what I also don't understand is in her confessional, she was like, oof, like no Sutton, blah, blah. So if you do feel that way because we've seen it in your confessional, why can't you just say that to Dorit? Sutton doesn't even have to know that you said that to Dorit. But like,
that's true.
Like, girl, like give her like some friendship. Like you know what I mean? You only be friends with like one person at a time. Like, you know that was wrong.
That was, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that comment was so low and so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ugh, shame. I hope that Sutton gets eat up at this reunion.
Oh, I would hope so. And I mean, I know even like watching like in the fan groups, whatever. I mean, people are just not here for it. And I remember Jennifer Tilly when she was on Watch What Happens Live and said, well, listen, it was wrong, but it seems like Sutton can say anything and people are still standing for her. Not really. Because that was gross. And I mean, when you have it like that, you don't say things like that. So girl, bye. That's
right. Like so Miss classy Sutton. Like that was so trashy, girl.
Very trashy. Yeah. I was not here for that. So basically, after that revelation, Dorit realizes, listen, it's nice that we had the meal. Still, she can't admit that Sutton actually does nothing wrong. We can have a lunch here and there, but at this point, we just can't be friends. So.
And you know what, Dorit, you better off.
Yeah, at this point, for sure. And so, y'all, then we get to the point of the show that we were all waiting for, is the fashion show. Good question for you too, Joey. Okay, so, we go to this fashion show, of course. Ooh, first of all, Sutton's dress. I like the dress. I just didn't like it for Sutton.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like her style normally anyway, if I'm being honest. She's very bizarre.
She is.
But again, like we're going to get into the fashion show, but then Sutton again changes character and is like a totally different person at this fashion show. She's like the nice Sutton that I like love.
Oh yeah, I want to get to that. Yeah, totally.
Other than Sutton though, I do feel like almost everyone like they brought their looks to this fashion show.
They did. They really did. Everybody looked good.
They did.
Though I will say, I was a little weird. Okay, so Kyle in her confessional look, everybody was asking, was it a wig? From a wig girl, yes, it was. Okay? Just saying. And y'all drag me about my wigs on here sometimes, so I can say it. So yeah, it was a wig. It was. So there's that. But her little tendril thing, that was cute at the fashion show. I thought she looked cute, and I
Yeah,
thought,
so did I.
yeah, they look great. Um, the show itself, well, we'll get to the point where the ladies all come. They're all gathered there. I loved how they were supporting the show or the fashion show in Sutton. I thought that was great. But what you think about your girl Kathy?
So, like, I love Kathy to death. Like, whatever. I mean, I want to believe that this is like an act for TV, but I mean, clearly it's like not at this point. And we've seen her on like many other shows and documentaries, and like this is like just her. Like, girl, to walk backstage right before it's about to start and be like, "Do you want Dorit to announce it?" First of all, like you were at that like, luncheon. They are feuding like no one's business.
Exactly.
And second of all, like you think that like 3 minutes before the show starts, Sutton doesn't have it all figured out. Like I just like
it was so weird, and I don't know. People are like, well, she's in this bubble of privilege, and she just doesn't know. That's not that's just weird.
it is.
I don't get it.
But again, right? Someone with like so much money, and it's like, oh, the caviar and the class and the house, like that was like awful behavior to walk backstage and then to be in the middle of the runway as like the show's starting, like
starting, and the model had to walk, or that was so bad. I know. I was like, Kathy, yes, and that has sparked a lot of people's conversations. Some of which that are questioning her cognitive level. Yeah.
But you know what? If Kathy's gonna give us anything, it's something to talk about every single time.
Every time she brings it. She brings it. Ooh. While we're on Kathy, and I'm skipping around a little bit, I did want to mention, I thought it was funny how Kathy wanted to get down to the bottom of who she thought was behind the photo. We're back over at the mammogram place, guys. I'm sorry. This is out of order. They go together every year because their mom passed away of breast cancer. They're both fine, but the key point I wanted to bring before I wrap it up the fashion show was Kathy, and I love her big sister energy. She wants to know who was behind the photo. Kyle doesn't believe it's Mauricio. I don't think we think that's in his character either. And she was like, well, we can find out. I can make that happen.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
Yes. So like, listen, y'all can challenge her cognitive level all you want, but no. I think Kathy knows exactly what she's doing. Yes, that was good to me.
Let me tell you, she might have her flaws, but you do not mess with Kathy Hilton. Like they said when her and Renna were going at it seasons ago.
Yes.
She will write you out of Hollywood with like a snap. So, I mean, she clearly is very well connected.
Yes. I was here for that. That was a power move. I was like, I see that guy.
Yeah, you know what? And that's the kind of support from a sibling I want.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I was just kind of like, oh, well, I know you can. I was here for it. She also had made the comment a lot of people were talking about where she said, I mean, obviously was like, we've heard of his other dabblings and stuff, but it's not like, he has the money to pay anybody off. And I was like, shady.
That's so funny you caught that because I was like, wait a minute, like, isn't he like filthy, like rich?
That's what I was led to believe. Yeah.
Like, I don't know what that means.
I don't either. But I did catch it. And so I did see some people speculate that some of those realty groups that were under him are franchised out and not under his full umbrella. But even with all of that, that man makes killer money. So I disagree. I don't know. Now, he probably doesn't have the Hilton money. I mean, but listen, I think he has enough to pay somebody off if we really wanted to. But
yeah, I'm sure he would have.
Right. And they both made the comment that it's really at this point none of Kyle's business. So bizarre. I just low key. I don't think Kathy likes. Well, I know Kathy doesn't like him because of the whole split between him and Rick.
Right.
Business. So yeah.
But like, And again, like, here's like where I struggle. Is it like really not Kyle's business? I don't know. Like, they are still married. Granted, Kyle's like doing her own thing. Like, they're still married. They have like all these like kids. Like, and again, like, maybe Kyle's thinking like, oh my God, like our daughters are gonna see this in
Well,
like
yeah.
the press. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna ask me questions. Like, what do I say? Like, I don't know. Like, it's like a little bit her business.
I think it is a lot of her business, and the fact she was saying she thought that maybe he would reach out and didn't. I thought that was also, I mean,
Again,
something.
when you're still married and you have kids, like, I'm surprised he didn't reach out either, if I'm being honest. But
Right. Same. So there's that, y'all. All right, we're back at the fashion show now. Oh, and we have Jade makes his debut. Oh, I don't know if it's his debut, but he does walk in Sutton's fashion show.
his debut on the runway.
Yeah. And I think he's going to have a good career. He's got it.
Dude, he worked that catwalk.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. So, I mean, like she said, he was built for that. I mean, listen.
He is.
He is. So, and then the other part that I was going to say, so we also know Jennifer Tilly is walking in her show. And yes,
She did something.
she did something. I mean, Jennifer's like a lovable, quirky something too. I mean, she's Jennifer Tilly, y'all.
I love her.
I love her too. The show goes off really well though, and Sutton is at the end, just very appreciative. We find out that her mother doesn't make it, but we find out that Reba was at the airport for 13 hours.
And like after like what we've seen with her trip like home and knowing like their past, like what a moment, even though she wasn't there, like what a moment that she cared enough to be at the airport for a full day trying to get out, couldn't go, went back, was there for 13 hours trying to get out. I mean, like, that's a lot of effort. Like, she cares about her daughter.
She cares about her daughter, and I love that for Sutton. And as much as last week she pissed me off, I was there for her in that moment. Because, I think she finally felt seen, loved, supported. And I guess I am a shade bit of a softie when it comes to her. So I was here for that. And she did pull it off well. Anything you want to add to that, Joey?
No, I was just like really happy for her, even just like knowing like her mom like cared like that much, It was like a really good, it was like a good scene. Even like the FaceTime, I like had like the emotions. I was like, wow, she like does care, like good for her. We could have been there, but I mean,
yeah.
Huh?
I think it was a softer side of Sutton. I was here for it.
It was softer, but I also felt like it kind of like set the tone, right, for like how she acted like that night, because we saw a softer Sutton during that fashion show, which like, not for nothing, like your first ever fashion show, she's never done anything like that. That must have been like so high pressure, high anxiety, high stress, and she really was very, from what we saw on camera again,
right,
very calm compared to how I would have been.
She was. I mean, you're talking, they had Vogue there. They had all the fashion press. They had a lot of people, important people there. I'm like,
speaking of the fashion, speaking of the press that was there, I don't often say a nice thing about Kyle Richards, but kudos Kyle Richards for avoiding that press. Good on you.
Yeah, that was right. She was like, nope.
She was like, nope, not today.
About it. Yes, she did. Yeah, good on her. Yeah,
good on her.
Good on her. So. Yeah, guys. So, I mean, that's basically how that episode ended. I don't know how many more episodes we have for the reunion, but the reunion looks have come out. So.
Oh, I didn't see them. Are they out?
Well, there's chatter about it. Maybe they're not out. Maybe I'm confusing them with, there's so much going on. There's chatter about what happened at the reunion, though. There is that. There's some things that have come up about that.
Yeah, I mean, the rumor mill's flying, and imagine Kyle Richards walks out of something. Like, who would have thought? Yeah, shocker.
Yeah, there's that. The thing that I hope they're wrong about, but probably not, is the showdown between Garcelle and Bose.
I'm here for it. And
I mean, it's bound to happen.
I'm here for it because somebody has to put Garcelle in her place. And if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Bose, because Garcelle, for not knowing her that well, you talked a lot about her this season. You had a lot of opinions about not just like things she was like wearing, about her as a person.
That's true.
And like, Bose, get her, because she has to be taken down a notch. Garcelle's like out of control. She thinks that she can like do like no wrong.
You're right. So yeah, those are the rumors. Yeah, that are kind of circulating.
She's what? She's public enemy number one because she's friends with like Dorit. Like, who cares?
I know, she's allowed to be friends with who she wants. It's just so silly.
Aren't you like too busy like up Sutton's behind? Like, I don't understand like why you even care.
That part. Yeah, I mean, listen. Well, y'all, that was pretty much the episode. We'll be back. Hopefully nothing catastrophic happens. We'll come back next week and talk about the next one. Life's over here, though, y'all. It just does. But y'all slide in the comments. Let us know what you thought about Potomac, the 3-part reunion, the Karen Huger of it all. And let us know what you thought about this last episode. What are you thinking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? And like, comment. We like to get the comments and we answer back. So yeah. So final thoughts, Joey?
Not much going on. To be honest, I really can't focus on anything besides the finale of The Traitors tonight. So
I know. So we'll be there.
I would love to talk more about Beverly Hills. They're going to St. Lucia, is it?
Yes.
I mean, we know that a Beverly Hills trip never usually goes well. So, but we keep trying. I mean, I don't know how many episodes we have left, but I'm ready for like the reunion like already, because I think that people have a lot of answering to do on this reunion. There was a lot of crap talking this season.
There definitely was a whole lot. So yeah, I'll be here for it. I think there's I don't know how many. I think last season they did like 20 episodes or something, but I just don't see it for this season. So
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. Unless this trip just boils out some stuff that, but we'll see. I mean, we're going to keep tuning in.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep tuning in. Like I said, super looking forward to The Traitors tonight. So help me, God, if Danielle wins. And then Sunday, right? We're getting Atlanta.
Yes. And you know what? At first I was like, listen, guys, I'm going to watch regardless. But Portia's been doing some press and it may be better than I was anticipating. So, I mean, your girl was going to watch anyway, but now I'm like, let's see. There may be some more drama brewing, some things between Drew and Portia, some stuff going on there with the whole...
That makes me sad because I really like both of them.
I don't love Drew. I think Drew's a liar.
You know what? Let me tell you right now. I get eaten up in those comment sections on social media sometimes when I say I like her, but I did. And I was like... And then they're like, oh, Drew's coming back. And everyone's like, why the heck would they bring Drew back? And I was like, yeah. And I get eaten up, but I like her. But I also I love Portia. So I don't know.
Yes. I'm here for it. And we'll see. Like, I want to see the whole what happened with the Kenya and Britt Edie thing. And then how they're going to bring in Phaedra. It's like, I just want to see how they're going to put it all together. So I'm here for it. I will definitely be tuning in Sunday for that. And that's their Sweet 16. So let's see if it's sweet.
I don't know if Atlanta gets very sweet often, but I'm here for it. Like I said, we're too far invested now. I'm going to keep watching.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that's what we have for you tonight. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure, if you haven't, like I said, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And most importantly, the notification bell. So when we come on, you'll be the first to know. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.